Let us start with C++ programming basics. As we are starting with object oriented programming using C++, I'm assuming that you are not aware about the basics of C++, and I'll try to explain in detail each and every line with which we start with the programs. Now here one sample program, the hello world program is mentioned, so I'll be explaining all the things in it. So the first line hash include iostream. So here on each line the explanation is given. The C++ language defines several headers. This is one of the header we have, which contains information either necessary or useful for your program. Okay, so for any programming language, we need input output stream. The input stream which takes input to your program, the output stream which displays output from your program. So naturally, the input stream is keyboard, output stream is display. So to use this, say taking input, to use the functions which are required to take input from the keyboard, and to use the functions which are required to output the whatever things we wish to output on the screen, we need the stream. So if we have this included, we can use C in and C out. Okay, the line using namespaces standard says that the namespaces must be used which are standard. So what is namespace? Namespace is a single topic we have in our object oriented explanation. So it creates space for our programs. This is a simple meaning you can take. Now this line, the next line, here double backslash, this is called as a single line comment in C++. Okay, so if I wish to write a single line comment, I have to use this syntax. Main is where program execution begins. So I wish to write this comment, so I have used this syntax. The next line is a main function. What is a main function? Where the actual execution of the program begins. So always this is the function where our execution will begin. Now this main name will not change in any of the program, because the compiler knows that from this position it has to translate. From this is position the execution will start. Okay, so this integer is a data type, so this main is returning integer value. Okay, and we are not passing anything to main, that's why empty bracket, then starting curly bracket. C out, as I told you, this IO stream, using this IO stream, this C out will display everything whatever is given in this double quote. So if I'm writing hello world, it will display hello world. Semicolon is a must to indicate the end of line. Again I am using a single line comment. So on this C out statement, along with this C out statement, this syntax for comment we can use, because it will eliminate everything which is written after this sign. So prints hello world will be eliminated for conversion as well as execution. But whatever is before it, it will get executed. Now return 0. Why this is written? Because main is the function which is returning integer value. So we have to return something in that case. So return 0 semicolon and end of the main program. So this is a simple structure of C++ program. Now those who are not aware about C++ programming, don't know how to write it, this will be helpful for them. Now, mm, again, we have seen how to write the code. What is main function? What is comment? What is IOStream? But how to execute this? So I'm assuming here that you are having a Linux environment, and you have G++ installed over there. So on the command prompt, you can write G++ hello.cpp. So whatever code I have written over here, I will save it in a file called as a hello.cpp. CPP extension is a must. Then I will use compiler G++ to compile this code. Now what is task of this compiler is to convert this code to object code, and that object code by default will be stored in ./a.out. Okay, and that will be executed later. So next line after this G++ hello.cpp, uh, we always go for ./a.out. We can change this name a.out that also we'll see, but as a beginner you should know that once this is compiled, this is the first line is a compilation statement, second line is the execution statement. Once it is written, it will display the output as hello world. Now this is the case in which you will be doing it on command prompt. So if you have an editor for it, like for example Eclipse editor you will be using for C++, then there is a different environment that I'll be demonstrating you how to write a program in Eclipse environment. That will be easy for you to know the various things or new things in it. Okay, so this is what a C++ program structure and how to execute it. Now comment out printing of hello world. So I have shown you this is a single line command using this syntax to backslash. Now if you want to comment multiple lines, what is the syntax? Backslash star, then whatever you write up to star backslash syntax, everything will be treated as comment. So if you write this cout statement inside it, it will be ignored by translator and compiler. Okay, it will not get executed. Variable declaration. So variable defines a location in memory. So whenever we wish to store some value in the program, we declare the variable. So it holds a value. Syntax is given as type, the data type, okay, integer, character, string, or double, float, what type you want, and the variable list. Hmm? In the above syntax, type refers to any one of the C++ data types. Now we'll see the example. Variables in C++ should be declared before they are used naturally. So here IOStream we have included, then main. So here we have declaration of variable n is an integer variable and we are assigning value 10 to it. Then we are displaying cout integer value. So whatever we are writing in double quote, it will display as it is on the screen. And if we are not putting double quotes and we are writing this n variable, instead of this n variable, its value will be printed on the screen. What is the standard output? It is a screen. Then if in single quote I am using slash n, it is a new line character. So after this statement there will be new line. Okay, so if I am running this program, what result it will give? It will give result as integer value is, because we have written this statement here, and 10. Okay, so here the n is the integer variable declared using data type int, just to make you understand that how data types are used. Now, there are some rules for every programming languages. There are set of rules associated, as every other language like English, Hindi, or Marathi. These languages are having rules or a grammars. We call that grammar as rules for that languages. Similarly, programming languages are also having rules associated with it. Okay. So for C++, what are the rules for naming the variables? So always the first character of a variable must be a letter or underscore. So if you start a variable name with a digit, it is not allowed in C++. The variable name cannot start with a digit. Okay. Other characters should be either letter, digits, or underscore. So other than this, if you are using any other character which is a special character or any other character, it is not allowed in variable name. There is no limit for the length of the variables. Okay. Declared keyword cannot be used as variable name. So what are the declared keyword? Class, main, public, private, integer, float. We cannot use this keyword as a variable name. So you have to choose a variable in such a way that it should not match with a keyword, otherwise it will give error. Upper and lower case letters are distinct. Okay, so if I am declaring say capital A and small a, both will be treated different. Now along with the rules for declaration of variable, there is a one more thing associated with the variable, that is a scope. Okay, so scope is a region of a program, and broadly speaking there are three places where the variables can be declared. The scope of the region where that variable exists is its scope. Okay, so what are the different scopes? So inside a function, or a block which is called local variable. So local is first scope. Outside all the functions, it is called global variables. And in the definition of a function parameters, which is called formal parameters. So we can pass these values to various functions using these variables. So there are three scopes which are listed over here. One by one we'll see all three examples, so you will be able to understand it neatly. The first scope, the local variable, parameters and variables declared inside the definition of a function or inside brackets is called as local variables. They only exist inside the function body. Once the function returns, the variable no longer exists. Okay, let us see example. Here we have main function in which a starting curly bracket and ending curly bracket. This is the scope of a variables which will be declared inside this main function. So integer a, b and c are declared, and local, this is called as a local variable declaration. Now once the execution goes out of this function, this is main function, it can be any other function, and then this variable doesn't exist. Okay, so this is scope of it. It is called as a local scope. Now here below we are assigning some values to it, abc, then we are displaying its value and returning 0. Once it is returned to some other place, this variable does not exist. This is called as a local variable or local scope of a variable. The next is a global scope. So we can declare variable outside any function. These variables are called as global variable. Any function can access or change the global variable. Let us see this. Here our program starts, and before main I am declaring one variable g. G stands for global variable. So it becomes a global variable because it is declared outside this bracket. Okay, now this is accessible by all the functions which will be written below because it is a common or a global variable. And here we have local variables which are declared inside. Now these a and b are not available outside this main function, but g is available. Even we can access g from main because it is available globally. So g equal to a plus b, we can display content of g. Again after main, this exists, J exists, but A and B doesn't exist. This is a global scope. Okay, this shows the global scope. Now, next basic thing which we have is constants. Constants refer to fixed values that the program may not alter or change. Okay, so we can define constant by two ways, using hash define keyword and using const keyword. So these words which are written in red are the keywords. We will see both the ways by which the constants can be declared. So the first thing is hash define. This is the syntax, hash define. Then we have to write name of the variable and then the actual value. So here after hash include, we have hash define. Length is the name which I have given. It is not the fix. You can change it to A1, A2, A3. You can give scans here, you can give comp. But here as per my application requirement, I am using length, width and new line. So length has value 10, width has 5. So these are the fixed value throughout the complete program. Now in main, suppose I want to use these values. For example, pi. Pi is having fixed value 3.14. So here I will say hash define pi 3.14. So it is a fixed value, it will not change. And normally we have these kind of values in many calculations. We want to keep it as a constant. Okay. So here in the program I have used those and return 0, it will execute its whatever application is needed. This is how hash define is used. Now it is a pre-processor statement. So before actual translation of the program, these say defines are resolved, that what is value of length, what is value of width. This is done before the compilation process. Next, so here we have got the output also. What is output? Area is calculated by 10 into 5. Area is displayed and a new line. Okay. Next is a const keyword. So this const, const is a keyword which defines the constant. Now you can observe here these two lines are the common thing. Constant integer length equal to 10, constant integer width equal to 5. So if you see previous one, here we are not defining the type of the variable. We are just saying that length represents 10, width represents 5, this way. But here when we are using constant keyword, we have to define the type. Okay. So character, integer, integer, and same way we are using those constants in the program. Okay, it has the same output, but there are only two different ways. Now one more new thing we have in C++, that is a reference variable. So variable name as a label attached to a variable's location in memory. So you know that we have a name for the variable. For example, integer a equal to 5. So a is a variable. So we can have one more name associated with that variable, that is called as a reference variable. So reference is a second label attached to that memory location. Accesses the contents of the variable through either the original variable name or the reference. Syntax, data type and percent sign, then the reference name equal to variable name. We'll see example. Integer I equal to 17. This is a simple variable declaration. We know what I is an integer variable. Now we can declare a reference variable using ampersand sign. Integer ampersand space r equal to I. Now this ampersand says that this r is a reference variable which is pointing to the I. So we can read this declaration as r is an integer reference initialized to I. So even if you are printing value of I, it will print 17. If you are printing value of R, it will also print 17. So let us see one example. It will clear your idea. So IOStream, then main. So declare simple variables, integer I, double D. Declare reference variable, integer ampersand R. It is a reference to variable I. Then double ampersand S equal to D. So S is a reference variable which is pointing to D. Okay, I equal to 5. Value of I is I. Value of I reference is R. So we are printing value of I as well as R. Then D equal to 11.7. Value of D is D. And value of D reference is S. So value of I is also 5. Value of reference I. Value of I reference is also 5. So I is 5, R is 5. Value of D is 11.7 and value of reference of D is also 11.7. Okay. Now comments, we have already discussed that we can have a single line comment and multiple line comment in C++. So this is multiple line comment. Okay. Backslash star slash star. This is a comment, again a star and slash. Again, a comment can also start with this syntax extending to the end of the line. Single line comment for the hello world.